So today we're going to talk about one of the most difficult parts of English grammar, the articles. The, and an. If you speak a European language, you will probably use articles, maybe more of them or less of them than in English. Some languages do not have articles at all. If you're a speaker of one of those languages, you will need to learn the rules, go through them, practice them as much as you can. So watch this video to the end. Let's first talk about the. The is known as the definite article, used normally in situations where both speaker and listener know what's being talked about. May well be because it's the second time the noun or thing has been mentioned, or because speaker and listener just know what's being spoken about. For example, there's a book on the table. The book is really beautiful and it's about dogs and cats. Or another situation where both speaker and listener know what is being spoken about. Have you shut the car door? The car that they both know about. Next we have a and an. These articles are usually used when we're introducing something for the first time, as you saw in those previous sentences. And you were probably taught at school that we use a before words that begin with a consonant. So, for example, B, C, P, K. And an before words that begin with vowels such as A, E, I, O, and U. This is not completely true, so I'll give you some examples. A university, although university begins with a vowel. A union begins with a vowel. And with an, we can have, for example, an hour, an honour, an MBA. The real rule is is used before words that start with a consonant sound, and an before words that start with a vowel sound. Now, let's move on to the use of the article the. So, for example, we've already said that for the thing that both speaker and listener know about, or for something mentioned for the second time. We've already spoken about that. What about in geography? With countries? What do we think? Do we say the France? The Germany? No. So normally with countries there is no article. But certain countries do have articles. Countries with the word republic in them, with the word kingdom in them, and with the letter S at the end, making it plural. So, for example, the United States of America, the United Kingdom, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, the Philippines, the Netherlands. What about rivers? Well, with rivers, we have the Thames, the Nile. Oceans, what do you think about oceans? Article or no article? The Pacific, the Atlantic. Notice we say the Atlantic, so pronunciation changes to the when we use it before a noun with a vowel sound. Let's move on to mountains. So, would it be Ben Nevis or the Ben Nevis? So the answer is the highest mountain in the UK is Ben Nevis. So for single mountains, no article. What about for a mountain range? Article or no article? Well, let's think about it. Mount Everest, no article, is in the Himalayas. So for a mountain range, we use an article. For cities, no article at all. So London, Paris, very few exceptions like The Hague, but otherwise, no. What about with names? With names of people, we have Osborne, for example, without an article. Johnson, without an article. But when we're talking about a family as a group, the Johnsons, the Osbornes. Also, it's possible for a especially famous person. Oh, who did you meet yesterday? Oh, I met David Beckham. The David Beckham? Yes, the David Beckham. We also use articles with superlatives, the best, the strongest, the wildest. Do we use articles with months or seasons? Is it the May or May? May. So no article for months. But with seasons, there's a possibility of using an article. So yeah, for example, it is possible to say, I like going skiing in the winter, as well as saying I like going skiing in winter. Both are possible. For all of those situations, so for months and seasons, if we're talking about a specific season or month, we can use the article. So for example, the summer of 1974 was really hot. I'll never forget the autumn of my first year at university. Okay, let's move on to numbers. Do we use articles with numbers? The 1, the 2? Not really, but we can use them with ordinal numbers. The first, the second, the third, the fourth. Also with particular types of numbers like 100, 1,000, a million. We can use the indefinite article all, a pair, a dozen, a score. Now let's move on to illnesses. Normally when we talk about illnesses, would we use an article or not? Is it the cancer? No, so in most cases we do not use an article with illnesses. So cancer, diabetes, heart failure, meningitis. There are some exceptions that are very popular in language. For example, I've got a cold. I've got a headache. She's got a nosebleed. Another interesting one is flu. I've got flu without an article. I've got the flu, the one everyone else has got in and around this area. Or the flu that everyone knows about as well. Both are possible. Let's talk about jobs. In jobs, we tend to use an article. So Peter is a doctor, Tom is a butcher, for example. There are certain jobs when people need to attain a position where we don't use an article. But in general, we use an article. Exceptions to this: Trump was elected president without an article. He remained CEO of the company for 5 years. Let's take a look at parts of the body. Do we say the head or my head? So in English, we tend not to use the article. We'll use a possessive adjective like my or your or his. So, for example, my head hurts. My leg's broken. Rather than the head hurts or the leg is broken. There are exceptions to this where you do use the article. She slapped him in the face. She poked me in the eye. So often when there's a preposition involved, so in the. With newspapers tend to use an article, so the Times, the Guardian, the Mirror. Sometimes we use the for things in general. The Irish are known for their hospitality. The French are known for their cuisine. Unfortunately, sometimes we don't use the article for things in general. So, do you like dogs in general? Do you like the dogs? The ones we both know about, they're in the garden now. As you can see, there are quite a few rules to learn when it comes to articles and some exceptions as well. The most important thing is to practice them and actually use them, because learning the rules on their own is probably not going to help you in your normal natural speech in everyday life. But don't give up, keep trying, keep practicing. If you need any help, put a comment down below. I hope you've got something out of this. If you have, give us a like and follow. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.